Have you voted TAMA in the last election? Yes, TAMA. Did you consider voting for TAMA? In the upcoming election this May 9th, will you consider to vote TAMA? Is your bet the TAMA? You might be confused right now on why we are asking if you have voted or are considering to vote TAMA. Actually, TAMA is an acronym from Dr. Luis Benedict Ignacio, professor in the Department of Political Science in the University of Santo Tomas, that will help you decide who fits the most in a particular seat in the government.
I've always advocated for voting for TAMA. I always use the acronym TAMA. So TAMA stands for track record, advocacy, morality or morals, and all for the country.
Track record, advocacy, morality, and all for the country. These are the traits that Dr. Ignacio suggests to look for when deciding who to vote for. But what are they?
They've made so many connotations about running for a particular post. Na it's like applying for a job that the candidates would want to get the post. When you are applying for a post, you know that that post has certain qualifications, whether it is academic preparation or whether it is experience that the position is looking for. Regardless of either, it will always look for these qualifications.
So these are the qualities that we should look for in a candidate seeking for a seat. But again, what are they exactly?
When we talk about track record, it could be of 2 or 3 things. Number 1, past experience or experiences of a particular candidate that prepared him or her for that particular position. His or her past positions, past works, would give him or her the capacity to hold the position that he or she is applying. So experience in an elected position, experience in knowing the intricacies of a particular position, experience in understanding what the position is all about, and understanding what it entails to work for that position. So we're talking about experience. Okay. Second, track record pertains to consistency, meaning in the past experiences, in the past work of a particular candidate, they already made their stand for a particular issue known to other people. They may have worked for it, they may have advocated it in the past, and it has to be consistent with what they would want to present today. It has to be consistent with what they want to happen in the future. Third, the connotation of applying for a particular position. If you are an HR officer, your task is to make sure that that person does not only have the qualifications for the particular post, but also has the personal traits that is necessary for that position. Meaning, if the position requires integrity, then you as an HR manager should look whether the applicant has been consistently carried integrity as a value. And you as an HR manager, in this case us, voters, would look like red flag ito eh. So how sure am I with that experience in the past, with that track record, that this applicant, this candidate will not do the same negative things in my company or in this particular position. Track record means that you're looking at what the past has exposed us to about this particular candidate and whether that past is consistent with what he would want to do in the future. So if track record looks at the past, advocacy looks at the future. In scrutinizing a candidate, you look at the past through the track record, and you look at the advocacy, what the candidate would want to see, what the candidate would want to happen in the future, where would that particular candidate bring us to in the future, because the truthfulness of an advocacy will really depend on track record. So that's one way of looking at advocacy. Kung talaga bang itong kandidato na to ay seryoso sa advokasya na isinusulong niya ngayon. That's one. Another, advocacy will be very significant in deciding who to vote if the candidate advocates for the same things that you give value to. You look at the candidates and see who among these candidates can best represent the advocacy that you give value. In looking at advocacy, it could be on two levels, right? Advocacy of the candidate and your personal advocacy, whether it is in parallel to the advocacy of the candidates. Then that gives you an idea, okay, I know that this person would best represent me, or I know that this person would do something that is valuable for me, that is important for me. Then you can easily identify who to vote. We're talking about leadership. We're talking about positions of power. We don't even have to dig deep into lessons of history and look for cases where people who are in power, if their morals are flawed, will always end up into problem. We're putting people in a position wherein they will have so much power. And if you have that power, if you have that much of a power, then you should be morally upright. Or else, what will happen to us is that these people who are in power will just use their power to take advantage. And to take advantage of the people, take advantage of the resources of the government, to take advantage of their position to get what they want. And for them, they would not even think twice. They would not even flicker in doing these things if they have flawed morality. That's why it's very significant that the person that we are considering to vote for is morally upright. You're taking this position not for yourself. You are running for a particular position not to put yourself in a better position, but rather because you believe that you can do something for the country, for the collective. Hindi ka tatakbo sa isang posisyon, sa isang leadership post, na ang iniisip mo lang ay sarili mo. Of course, that's the ideal thing. The ideal thinking is that people run for a particular position because they believe they can be of help. When these candidates run, the given assumption, given yung dapat, na kaya sila tumatakbo ay dahil gusto nilang tumulong sa iba at hindi para sa sarili lang. To identify who to vote, be critical. Are they doing this for themselves? Or genuinely, are they doing it for the country, for the collective?
Tama. Track records, advocacy, morality, and all for the country. Tama. These are the qualities that we should consider when voting for a candidate. Tama? But why should we consider these four qualities? Why should we vote for Tama?
If you look at studies, if you look at literature, if you look at the field, and if you look at the history of governments, whether it is in the Philippines or outside, these are the things that make or break leaders and governments. It's the track record that make a good president. It's the advocacy of a particular position, of a particular president that makes or leaves a legacy. Okay? It is the morality or the lack of it that makes or breaks a president or a particular position. And it's the hard work, okay, the dedication that a president or a government official puts on his or on their work, okay, to prove that they're doing it for the country. All of these factors make or break a president, an administration, and a country. So you may have other standards, but these four, track record, advocacy, morality, and all for the country, it's undeniable that these are the things that we have to look for in deciding who to vote in particular.
Now that we know what TAMA is, would you be voting TAMA this election?